That's it. Check movement, check volume, and then check again. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Check movement, check volume, check again. 1, 2, 3. Going in the wrong one. Am I going in the wrong one? I am going in the wrong one. I'm going in the right one. Not the right one. 1, 2. Let's have a look. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Get louder, but not that much louder. Let's see if I've got some filters here. 1, 2. Expand again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. Let me just try that again. Just test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me just try that again. Just test. Okay. We'll go to gain and bring the gain down just a bit. Yeah, hello Jeff. So today, let me just get back on my screen so I can see myself live. Hi Jeff. Today I can see you. Today we're gonna be carrying on doing bass. We're gonna be using the same bass line we've been using for a couple of days, which is the Carly Simon bass line. And in this video, instead of we're gonna do the bass line again, but when we do the bass line, when we learn it in a way where it teaches us that when we play the bass and we change key, the bass has a different harmony. It has a different harmony setup. Normally, when you play bass, you might think that each key is the same. But when you learn the bass, as you can see in the thumbnail, I've got Ron Carter, who's obviously, we're kind of related in a way to this kind of, I don't look like it, but we're kind of related in a certain way. There's a few of us that are kind of related, surreptitiously. And so what it is with Ron Carter, if you watch his videos, sometimes he plays the bass in a different way, and it can be really important to learn the bass this way. Now, when I do this, I like starting from the beginning, so I am going to do this. Excuse me for a second, guys. Wow, live. This is my PV. It's a real American guitar. It's made in USA guitar. And I like starting off this way because I like the tune. You know, it's like a jam, and you know, like you like it a little bit. So we're going to start off a little bit in guitar just to warm up. Let's make sure I get that in there. So we've got guitar. Sometimes you see people, they play guitar and they don't use a plectrum. You know, I'm one of those guys that don't really use a plectrum. So what I normally do is, instead of going like this, sometimes I do that, but now normally I play like that. So I kind of play the guitar a little bit like that when I play it. I can play it that way. I can go like that. But sometimes I opt to play a different way. The reason for that sometimes is because of reggae. You know, I keep talking about this, but you know, it's important, particularly for the American guys and the British guys as well. So what it is that my natural DNA is towards the reggae. Hearing means that when I play an instrument, deep down somewhere, it makes me want to play the beat there, or that note, or that feeling. It happened with Jazzy B. He doesn't really talk about it. You know, he's kind of disappeared now. He's in his own world, you know. But that's what it was with guys like Jazzy B. You know, they do a tune and they add that one more piece of cowbell, and that one extra cowbell is now turning the tune into a reggae track. You know what I mean? So what does that mean? So what it means is that some people have what you call natural hearing, like the Americans, for example, all of them, because they're from America. And that's what it is with the other people from around the world, is that they're trying to learn American music. Sometimes it's just basic American music, the same way as you would learn basic reggae, for example. It's like a basic reggae tune. They're all scratching their chin and not quite sure, you know, what to do. And you get another reggae guy that will come along. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the mix. So what it is with guys like myself is that it comes naturally to a certain degree. It doesn't mean to say that I'm like bona fide from Jamaica or something, but it kind of comes natural to us. Where other guys, they might, you know, I meet people I met a guy a few months ago. He was really, oh yeah, I remember the Damned. You know, he's a musician. Yeah, I remember the Damned and, you know, reggae punk tune or some. And oh yeah, this tune. So he starts going like that, what we call the pop reggae thing. You know, they do this, and when the drum goes, then they lose it. They can't get the feel because there's no beat. They won't be able to get it to go. If you do it physically with the beat and the hit, then the other people know where it is, and then in the end you can let go or whatever it is. So they don't get that. Yeah. So some people don't get it. You see what I mean? You go, why don't you play that way? The reason why is because if someone's got to hear it, they can hear it. If you play like this, then the drummer might not know where it is instantly. They don't know where. You can drop down into that maybe later in the tune. Now everyone's got the tune, then you can drop down into that. But initially, so when we look at this bass line, why this is why I've got the guitar out. I like doing it. Is there's a few things you could argue the reason why people you're going to see you expect to see loads of people doing this bass line on the internet. There's no one on the internet playing this bass line. So one of the reasons for that is obviously the reggae element in the tune. Guys like myself and many other people, they might be able to hear reggae quite naturally, but other people don't. They can't hear it. This is what we say to the Americans. They don't get it. Like the people around the world, they're looking at these bass lines and they're really scratching and going 1E and a 2E and to get the note. And the reason why they're doing it, because they can't feel it, they can't hear it. Whereas the American guys, they just get it naturally. They know it goes like that. They can, whatever it is, the American guys get it straight away. They're not even thinking about it. But people around the world are really scratching their chin because they haven't got all of the feel. That's why we following guys like Tracy Rich and those guys, because they play R&B. It's something that we can never beat. We could go around the world and go to Berkeley and Berkeley and Berkeley and all of these colleges. They ain't going to be able to teach me how to play R&B. You've got to kind of have it in you. But what I'm trying to say, in that sense, you can get someone from around the world that could play R&B, but it won't be natural. It'll be unnatural. And that's what I tried to get. And on the internet, I gave up. I done the confession that I was giving up the chase to try to become an American. It's like trying to change your DNA. So when it comes to this tune, the reggae part of the tune, it could be enough to throw people because they will either play the beat straight or hear it straight. So when they hear the notes, they won't be able to get it because there's this little bit of air in the tune. like starting off with a bit of guitar on this tune. You know, I do like starting off with a bit of guitar because, you know, you know what I mean. It's like it's nice. You know, um, so I like doing that, and it's in the tune, right? So what it is that the possibility is one of the reasons why some bass players are staying away is that some guys around the world can't get that feel naturally. They can play it, but they won't get it naturally. You see what I mean? Where other guys, they might hear it and get it naturally. So what it was is that the reason why I went to the tune is that, you know, I got this, which is a fretless bass. This was a donation. You know, can't believe it. You know, you go on the internet, you get a donation, you can't believe it. So obviously I was looking at bass lines. One bass line I'm not going to do is the Paul Young bass line. I'm not going to do that bass line. But I was looking at other bass lines and went, yeah, that Jacko tune, that funky Jacko tune. So I always believed that this bass line by Carly Simon was Jacko. So when I typed it in, it kept coming up with the other cat, not Carly Simon, but the other, Jody Mitchell. So I'm going through all the tunes. It's not here. It's not here. So in the end, I typed, you know, why da 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 into kind of AI thing, and it came up Carly Simon. So I checked it, and that was a tune. And when I went down, it wasn't Jacko. It was Bernard Edwards. So what it is that you've got a lot of guys on the internet that talk about Bernard Edwards. They do lessons, and you subscribe to them, and you get, you know, PDF or whatever. I don't know what they do. You know, all of this about Bernard Edwards. And when you watch the videos, they don't really talk that much about Bernard Edwards. Some of them weren't even around when he was around. Don't remember it. You go back to like 1979 when you see him on TV for the very first time. Remember, no one's saying, "Oh my God, it's Bernard Edwards." He was just another really good bass player, really good band. They were the latest band, and obviously he had the latest licks. It's when he's gone that then they say, "Oh my God, it's Bernard Edwards." When he was around in the early days, he was just a really exciting bass player. It's like, "Oh no, we're so unworthy." He was really, really good at what he did. It's when he left, then he was sorely missed. You know what I mean? You know, in that sense, that's why he's more revered at that area. So while we're talking about this, so you would expect these people on the internet that teach you how to play Bernard Edwards, and they say, and please come back, you know, if you have any more Bernard Edwards stuff, let us know. So none of them have done this tune. And it's Jacko-esque in its sound, you know. And so what it was, we're going back to my normal bass, is that I started to try and work out the bass line, obviously. So when I started to work out the bass line, we just play the top notes. Just going to play the top notes. You know, the top notes are really easy. It's not like it's all difficult and complicated and long. The bass line is so easy, you don't even need to play it. You can play it with one hand. You can actually play this, but you don't. That's how easy the bass line is. So you would expect these guys to go on the internet and play the bass line, but what it is, they can't hear and judge the inside baseball. Obviously, that's what it is. If you get a guy go on the internet and they jam this, you know, they're going, well, you know, it's good, but it's not actually what Bernard Edwards is playing. So when you actually listen to what Bernard Edwards is playing, there's all this inside baseball. And that's where you get the points when you do the bass jam. You get it really, really like Bernard Edwards. So the first note kind of felt all right. That felt okay, but it was the next note that sounded a bit, what is he doing? Especially when you haven't heard the tune. You know the tune, but you've never tried to play it. So when you kind of go, and he ain't doing that, there's something else that's going on. So at first I couldn't get it. So I tried down here and I couldn't get it. So what I did at first was I was kind of playing it like this. And it sounded quite good. And I said, hey, what about if I do this? Like this 2-stage thing, but it was okay, but it, you know, it was trying to cover a patch. So the thing is that what I did is then I quickly thought about playing the bass. Let me go back on the pages if there's people typing or watching. So what I did is I said, well, what about if I played this bass line in a different key? Now that doesn't mean, hey, wait a minute, that tune is in that key. Yeah, I know that tune is in that key, but I can detune the bass and see what it sounds like detuned. So what I did very quickly, I didn't detune the bass. I pretended that the bass was detuned. So that meant I had to play it, instead of playing it here, which is D, A, E, G. I now had to play it B sharp, A sharp, A sharp, B sharp, A sharp, F, G sharp. And the reason why I did that is it gave me the rocking motion that I needed in that second part. Now I could go. So now I've got the feel. It's not the right notes, but it's the feel. It's the source. It's the way that the bass line is going. So now the bass line was beginning to fit because I could go like that. Because it's the right kind of feel. You know what I showed you earlier with the reggae thing. So what I did, mouse is falling over. Excuse me. So what I did is I detuned the bass. Now it's E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. And when I played it, then I realized, because I'm playing it in this kind of like Ron Carter, I'm thinking like Ron Carter. Right? Then I realized that there's the turnover notes, meaning that if you're playing the bass line in A flat or B flat, then the turnover is the open A. So if you're playing D sharp or E flat, the turnover is D. So all I needed was the last one, So it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Sorry, it wasn't that. It ended up being the A. It's the only one that makes sense. And when that happened, the bass line went Bulax. See, I have my own words like Batway and Bulax, but I use Bulax more. So when I did this, then the bass line went Bulax. Meant that all of the harmony was right. Everything through the harmony. Open D to D sharp. Open A or A position to A sharp. Open E, E flat to F or F position. Then open A to G sharp. So when I started to play the bass line like this, it went really, really Bulax. And then the extension, the final extension, which means that the bass line is really, really easy. If you do it in a standard way, if you do it in a really, really standard way. They're all chromatics. And what it is the way that he does them. He rocks the chromatics. So one way of rocking them is through the rocking them, one way of rocking them. I remember the old days anyway. Anyway, so one way of rocking the bass is by rocking them through the open strings. That way. So it sounds really, really, really good when you play. Obviously, you've got to get the interim parts. There's all these little bits that are in the tune. One of them is that. And you've got to get the doubles as well. So you have to get the double notes. There's a few double notes, there's a few extra rocking notes. There's just a single. Sometimes there's nothing as well. There's all these different things that Bernard Edwards does in the track. So what it is that there is obviously an extension to this, as we say, in the wrong way of playing bass. So the extension is you've got E flat. So the extension of that is C sharp, D, D sharp. And that will be the same for A. So that would be G sharp, open A. Then the extra extension, as we've done in the other live video, will be open D to E flat or D sharp, and then E to F. So that will be extra extended. And then which would actually be this. That's what it would actually be. That's what it would actually be in that sense. That's too far extended, but that's the extension. That's what you have to do when you learn the bass this way. You have to look at the extensions and find out whether there's anything there. So when we do this, that's really good. So that can be fully extended to the G. It can be extended. So you get this kind of feel in the bass line. So you get this really beautifully kind of flowing. Obviously, I'm making a few mistakes, but obviously, you practice, you get it right. So when you play the bass this way, it's really beautifully flowing through the bass. Remember, I'm playing the bass this way as opposed to up and down on it. Instead of me playing like this, I'm playing this way. The notes go that way. Really, it will go. It would actually go there. Yeah, so the bass goes this way. Obviously, I'm making a few mistakes in this sense. It's a fretless bass, so it sounds a bit weird. Okay. So when I done the video, I was convincing myself that, that Bernard Edwards played the bass detuned, at that level. But I did say that there is a possibility that he may have played it in normal tuning. And in the live video, I was going through the normal tuning, but I was too tired, mentally too tired to remember. So I was just doing a few cliches and then went into good times. So I've had time to recover, to renegotiate the bass line. I've got the bass line really going really well like this. It's really, really good. So I was going, well, if you play it in normal tuning in E, I don't think it's going to be as graceful as that. And so when I done the live video, I was kind of conking out. So what it was, after a day or so, I began to recover and then look at playing the bass line as though it was in normal tuning. So instead of me going on to this bass, what I did, instead of playing the bass line, I pretended that the bass was in normal tuning. So what it means is that I've got to get that kind of flow in normal tuning. So I've got to transpose this into, because this is now in E flat, in the E flat position. It's in the E flat kind of position. So now I've got to pretend that it's in E. it's in this key now. But actually that's in the key of E, that's wrong. I've got to get it right, so it's in D. So it's here. So I beg your pardon. So when I was doing it before, it was here. Now I've got to play it here. This is why people like Scott's Bass Lessons and those guys are not into detuning their basses that much, because if you're live and you make that mistake, as I did, and keep thinking that the bass line's in the key of E, then you've lost the tune sometimes. You've really got to know your stuff. Or the bass is constantly detuned. So I've got to make this into, you know, in this key now. So I can work out what it is. I can work that out. It's really, really easy. So now I've got to go like that. But what it is that it doesn't work. It works, but it doesn't work playing the bass this way. So what I've got to do is look for something else that works this way in the key of D. So one of the things that works a little bit is when you play the bass this way. So I can play it this way. I've got to make it play this way. So to do that, and then to get the semitone, so the very first harmony that I get in D, A is cliched. It's completely cliched. Very, very well known. If you play bass in the 60s and 70s, this is how they did it. Sounds so natural. So we got our first notes. So that will be the same for the E. And now the Bulax, when I did it, you get the Bulax part. So the Bulax is here. So now the bass line is Bulax. So this bit has to be sorted out. So to sort that out, that's a really good way of sorting it out. So now the bass line is sorted out in the key of E. So what I'm going to do is look to see whether I've got my T. I've got a bit of T. So now what I'm going to do is have a T break, and I'm going to tune this bass up to standard tuning and then play it to the tune. When we played it here in the normal tuning, maybe what I'll do is play it in this tuning for one more time and then tune up the bass again. The screen has crashed. What I do is I slow it down as well. I'm going to slow down the track a little bit. Slow it down. Slow down. Speed. I'm going to get into. I'll slow it down. Let me see what it sounds like. Actually, I'm going to get to slow. A little bit faster. So what we're going to do is going to play at this speed. The reason why we're doing it is so you can get into it a bit. You can get into the bass line. So this is the last time we're going to play it in this tuning. The bass is in this tuning. So when we start here. And then we're going to tuck the bass. And this bit, magical. That's why I like it in this key, because that's magical. Because the note becomes, the magical note is behind. It's really, really good. I like it this way. Well. Made a few mistakes at the beginning, but you can hear it. So you can actually hear it right in this tuning. So now I'm going to have a tea break, and then we're going to tune the bass to normal tuning, and then play the bass again using the Delph Bulax effect on bass, because obviously I don't like, so I've got my own word. What is that? Bulax. Means everything. It means good, bad. I don't like those people, they're Bulax. This tune is Bulax. I don't like it, it's Bulax. Blimmin' hell. I've Bulaxed myself. Do you know what? I feel Bulax today, man. It means everything. Good, bad, medium, rare. It means a load of different things all in one go. But obviously, it's non-offensive because, I've been on the internet for nearly 20 years. Not even when I type, I go into other sites and talk about the war or the bore or, science. You never see me, even when I type, do I swear. It's only when I'm really in a bad way. If you see me swearing, I'm in a bad way. You know what I mean? But other people, it's normal. I know people. Sometimes they go on, swear. And my face goes red, and they see my face go red. And I swear. They start laughing because all the time, they don't care. But Berber, it's nothing to them. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to tune up the bass into standard tuning, because now we know the bass line. We went through that bass line. It's really beautiful. It's beautiful when you play the bass like that. It's really nice feeling because you're flowing through the bass. You're not struggling by stretching. Everything's easy. Everything's one note. You can effectively play that bass line with one finger. You know what I mean? That way. So it's really nice feeling. And the way the harmony checks, that's why we're doing it. The way the harmony checks out, it checks out in a really good way, because the Delft notes are the suspended notes. So in other words, the key notes that make the bass line this. Like again, we just do it that time. So what does that mean? The notes that you can't hear are screaming at you in this tune. I can't hear the notes. So what it is that people can't hear those notes. You can't hear them. You can't hear them in the track. One of the reasons, this is the reason why bass players stayed away from the tune. So they couldn't hear what the notes were, because you can't really hear them. So what it is, as I said, ghost notes screaming at you, going, ah, as loud, I'm playing them really, really loud. Now you can hear them. You can't unhear them. If you know what they are, then you can't unhear them. So they're the notes behind the beat. Some people count behind the beat. Other people play behind the beat. I'm one of the guys that like playing behind the beat, because I don't know counting behind the beat. Don't know how that works. So what I do is play the notes behind the beat. So these are the notes behind the beat. You know, basically this one could be lower. I have seen people do single note drop tuning. It's something I would not really do. You know, for me it will be drop down to drop D to a whole tone, not a semitone. But anyway, so what it is that when you play the bass this way, the Delft notes are the open string notes. So what it is, it feels better, kind of, in a way, when you play it this way, because you know that you're playing it Delft as opposed to straight on. So now we're going to tune the bass up. So it can be quite easy because we've got this tune here. We can tune it up So now we've got it in this standard tuning. This is, people that don't know, now my bass is tuned like everybody else's bass. If you buy a bass and they tune it up, it will be like this. When I had it tuned before, it's very rare that you see people with it. Some people do tune their bass and guitar that way. I heard Jimi Hendrix and those guys did it as well. They had their guitars detuned. I'm not saying it's true, I'm just saying at that level, at that particular point. So now my bass is in standard tuning. The reason why is because when I did it live before, I was tired. And I was saying, well, it's very simple. You know, that it's really, really easy when you're playing this, because this is what starts to happen. you're now playing the open strings as the tonic. Okay, so that's what it is. So we know what the bass line is because we already worked it out. We know it's there. We might have to do a little bit more tuning here. There's the dangerous part of the bass line. So this is the feeling we got in the bass line now. We might have to tune up a little bit. Can't really hit the bass that much. So now we've got the bass line. It works. So it's dangerous, it works, all the notes are there, the swing is different, it's in a different kind of aspect, but it's there. We can we can hear how that bass line is kind of working. Now, so what it is that, you can tinkle. I was tinkling around with that a little bit. I realized that you can kind of get an offshoot. It's not right, but it's like a rabbit hole. So what I'm going to do is bring it up to normal speed and then start to use this offshoot a little bit. It's not there that it's actually in the track. It's that, you can start, looking at offshoots that are similar, because you're looking at the bass in a certain So what it is, right? Obviously, I went through that a lot. What it is that we have two different ways of playing this bass line. You can play it the standard way and still use part of that technique. But what you find is that when you play the bass this way, is that it becomes awkward because the ghost notes are actually played and the top notes become the open strings. So the only Delft bit is there, but then they're the open strings. And there's the real Delft bit, which is then fretted. So the only real Bulax part of the bass line is here. The rest of it is straightforward, right? Meaning that it's kind of straight. But when you play it this way, it would actually, all the notes would actually be this. So when you play it this way, the bass is more swish. It's more through the laces. And the harmony is slightly different. This is why we're doing the video. Because when you play the bass this way, you know that each key has a different harmony. Each key will have a different outcome. If you follow this through, I met a guy and he said, when you do it, do you follow it all the way through? And you go, yeah, sometimes you follow it all the way through and it comes out as a weird kind of outcome. As I said, when you play it this way, you actually finish here. That's the note that you're supposed to finish on. Sorry, do it slow. See, and that's what I was saying to the other guys, because when you go down the stairs, it's going to go that way. You're going, what? I'm going, yeah, you can't. You didn't see it. Why am I saying this? Because that's what it is. When the guy asked me, I said, yeah, if I go all the way through, that's where it is. In this key. When you do it in E minor, then the outcome is different because you're in this key. So you're not going to get the same feel. So you've got to look, obviously, is it, because sometimes E minor. So let's see whether we can get the denominator. So we get a Bulax. So there is a common denominator. As I said, normally the natural common denominator of E minor is G major. And then we find out that there's a blow part where it actually blows onto the bass line. So what I'm doing is I'm blowing a little bit of G major into the bass line. This is what it is with Bernard Edwards. This is what it is. Because you can't, the way that he's done the bass line, you can't hear it. He's mixed it down so much so that you can't really hear what he's doing. So the guys don't know what he's doing. So they kind of in the air, what is he doing? I don't know what it is. So you can only hear the top notes. And the top notes are moving. They're not straight, they're moving. And the reason why is because the notes behind them. Let's see if we can extend this. I don't know whether it's going to extend that far. It might extend. mistakes. So what it is that, let's say that you was actually doing a recording of this, you can see what's starting to happen to the bass line. You've got the intro that you can now arc. And then when it goes into the first verse, then you drop down. So we hear that. Let's hear that. So, so that's, so you've got G major. So we do that. So there's a little bit more in G major. So we've got two parts in G major. What I'm trying to get is that. That's the bit that I'm trying to land. So what it is that learning the bass this way, as I said, gets you into playing configurations that other bass players won't get. They won't get it because you won't be able to see it, because you're playing the bass like this. Do you remember the guy that was talking about John Coltrane, the piano player? Because I don't get it. You've got these guys and they play jazz to chords and that, and it's not that. So it's the same thing. When you learn the bass this way, like this, now you can play it like this. play it like that, but it's not going to be the right. Nothing's going in and out and up and down. But it's not that. You've got to get it right. So it goes in and out. The tuning might be a little bit out. And it goes in and out. When you play it that way, it goes in and out. There's the in and out. Out, out, up and down. So you got that feeling. So we got this feel from learning. So we go just one more time on this feel. So what it is that when we play this bass line, I know I'm jamming a lot, and I'm not actually looking at the page. Actually, I'll stop looking at the page. You know, I like the sound of a detuned bass. Sorry about that, I wasn't watching. Yeah, well, it's a fretless bass, so I'm having a little bit difficulty with the tuning, obviously, because I'm not used to playing a fretless bass. So what it is with people that are not used to it, you tend to put your fingers right where they're supposed to be. You can't do that on a fretless, so they've got to be on the line, right on the line. So it's really weird, and then you lose your tuning because you're not quite sure where you are. But what it is, you've got to be able to play licks, basically, that when you play them, that they don't sound out of tune. If you play it in such a way, it won't sound detuned. So, you know, when you do the last note, you know, you go like that, and it won't sound out of tune, you know what I mean? Now, the other thing about this bass is that this was, you know, you get people on the internet, you get something, from the internet. So this is from the internet. This bass was a donation from the internet, guys. I ain't making it up. Someone from the internet gave me this bass. So when they gave me this bass, it's got a certain setup. The strings are in a certain way. The action is a certain way. And so I haven't changed the action, so I'm not used to this action. But I think it's set up for playing the bass really fast, because when you play on the bridge, it's really easy to play. So you get guys that can really, really play fast. So it's one of those basses. You know, so I'm learning little bits every day. It would actually be, go through that again, we'll just finish off with a tea break and keep going on to harmony, because we've really got to check both harmonies so the guys can see it. So when you play in this bass line detuned, it's very lush. When you play the bass line this way, there are some hard points in the bass line. A few points that are a little bit difficult, not difficult, but it's like cornered and tough. So the harmonies, right? I know I'm jamming, but the harmonies, right? So when we listen to the harmonies, we got this clear harmony that we're doing, which is the same as why. Might be a better place to play it. Let's see if we just do that one more time. Better place to play it. making a few mistakes, but it does work a lot better there, because when I do it slow, what does that mean? Maybe we could try the C actually. So you're there. We try it straight on C. Instead of using the lower note, we try it on the higher C. Yes. Getting a bit excited. You get a bit excited, but so we've got to change the position again. So we've got new positioning on the bass. So now we've completely changed the positioning of this bass line in the key, in the suggested key E minor kind of lick. We've shifted it down to this position, and because we've got these passing notes, we know it's not the bass line, but what we're doing is we're going into that kind of like thing in the harmony. So we're getting this kind of feel within the bass line. Go for it again, just a little bit more. So when we play the bass this way, if we was going to do the bass line, we wouldn't play the same thing over and over. We'd change it. So we put in some of the old, some of the new. And obviously what would happen if we keep learning the bass line and keep going through the harmony, then we might find new bits, that will actually fit, harmoniously into the bass line. We're looking at that. And obviously so let's look at that harmony. This harmony. This harmony. See whether a little bit pinched. But what may happen is that because you're hearing it as it being in that area, but maybe there might be somewhere else where that note will begin to fit in somewhere else in the bass line. I'm not saying it would, but it might do. That's what sometimes I do. When I listen to bass lines, I start looking at notes within a certain thing, and then sometimes they don't fit, and then sometimes they do fit really quickly. Sometimes they don't at all. So when we've got the bass line this way, we can now see the harmony is in this kind of area. You can change this as well. It will actually go here. It's not as cliched, or what it is, I'm not used to it as being a cliche here. But here, I'm used to it. I'm used to it being here, but you can do it here. Don't know whether you can use other notes. Too exaggerated, it's not really going to work, but this is where the harmony is. So the harmony is in this area. This is where the voicing is. This is where all the voicings are. So this is the harmony you get when you play the bass in this key. But when you play the bass in, if it was detuned, it would be like this. So let's just compare the first bit. So in E minor, we get this. This is the harmony in E minor. The harmony in E flat is so we compare both. That would actually be, or actually it'd be. And then we've got. So you can hear that the harmonies are different, the voicings are different. That's in this key. If we played it detuned, it will be. Can you hear what's happening? Do it again. It drops. So it's there. So that's the note. So this. Alright, so it is just a semitone. But the start note, is it the same? No, because the start note will be here. So the feel, the difference. there's a different feel in the harmony. Dun, ba, dun, dun. Yeah, and dun, dun, ba, dun, dun. So that one's different, and that one's different. And the reason why is because the harmonies, the notes of the harmonies are slightly different, not exactly the same. You can't copy and paste the bass line to different keys when you play. This is why we're doing it. So this is what it is. This is what you learn. So when you're playing a certain key, you know that the overtones are going to go that way. That's what I'm trying to explain. And that's what started to happen in the bass line. So when it started to bulax, it started to bulax like that. But when you play it this way, then the bulax is here. Is on the it's a different form, it's a different harmony. Than when you do it here. Oh, da, da, da. Oh, da, da, da. Which is transferred into, as I explained. So there's that feel there. And when it comes to the feel on this instance, is different. As opposed to you've got so the actual deep harmony of the two keys are different. What you find is that E minor is kind of dull and deep and dark, and F minor is a little bit uplifting, meaning that where you find the shape of the harmony is in that kind of major. That's what it is with good times. When you play good times in F minor, this is in major. So it's uplifting. So this like F minor position is more uplifting than when you play it in E minor. It's dark and deep. And the reason why is because the undertone harmony of E minor is darker than F minor because of the interim ways that you find the bass line. When you play F minor, when you play E minor, it sounds dark. See what I mean? You can make it sound the same, but when you do that, there's no change in harmony from F to E major. I mean, any time you play, it's always going to be the same. When you play in E major, by the way, you have got the bright, E major sound. It's here. The note behind E major, E flat, makes it really, really bright. E major, which is a different harmony, obviously, than E minor. That's what it is. E minor is different. E minor. It's only a semitone. But when you play at a distance, it sounds really, really far away. See? But when you play F major, you've got the same distance in, but in all the voicing. So what it is with E major is that the low note is the root, and that's the second note. So when you play F major, the low note is E, but the tonic is F. When you play E major, the low note is E, so it's like that. So E major might sound brighter than F major, it might not, but they're different feelings. They're different colours. Just do it on colours. So we've got that. And then you've got you can do it this way. same feeling. So you get the same feeling in F sharp. So if you got F sharp, then you got G. So G would be the same in that position. A. Is now different in A. Different than G. Different than F sharp. F sharp is the same as G. But then different than F. And then different than E. So when we go to A sharp, so they've all got these different. There are exceptions. It said there's 2 exceptions, which is F sharp and C sharp. So apart from F sharp and C sharp, they'll all have their different connotations. They will be similar, but then they will be different when you extend them. So then after that, you got B. Then C. So C is the same as F sharp, the same as G. Now C is the same. So we look at C sharp. So C sharp is the same as B. So if we got C sharp, then we got D. So D is the same as A. So if we got D, then we got D sharp. I'm not sure whether we've seen this one before, that it might be similar. And then after D sharp, then we're back to F, D sharp. D sharp, is that D sharp? Then E. That's wrong. That's it. E major. So they're all different voices. It's like some of them in groups. What you notice, they are in groups. So one of the groups that I did is in the groups like this. Which are the 12 keys. So one of the ways of putting them in groups is like this. That's 4 major scales in one position. Then you've got the next group of major scales in this position, E, A, D, F sharp, B, and then finally you've got G major, C major, F major. And everything works, so they're in those groupings. That's why I put it in the tune that I did. It's the 12 keys. So when you learn the bass this way, then you find these different groupings is what we're seeing. We find that G is the same as F sharp. It's the same as C major. And then we found that D is the same as A. And then we found that there was this one, which is, so these ones will be the same. So A sharp will be the same as D sharp. I'm not sure whether it's the same for, it should be, which is G sharp. And then finally, same as B. So then you get these other what you call different common groups. So C sharp is common to B. And then you got obviously we got so they become common, so you can start working out other common denominators by playing the bass this way. So one we looked at shapes, and others we just looked at the last note, and this really helps you when you're looking at bass lines as we look at that. But now we found another Ras Bulax. When I played that bass line, there was Bulax. Change that to go. Let's see what happens if we start changing the lower note. So, I want to try my legs. So you can snap the G in there. If you snap it, it will fit. So it really does help in understanding and knowing that if you're playing in, like I'm playing in this key and there's a lot going on, it's sounding really hard. But when I play in E flat, it's much more lush and graceful. And then the toning is different, meaning that when you catch the bass, here you can catch it really low. I was really surprised when I found that. To make it go that low. But when you play it in this key, it's much more controlled. You can control it in a different way. And this is what happens with producers. So what can happen is that they can play the bass line in E flat tune it up so it sounds as though it's in E minor, and it sounds as though it's more happy than what it would be if it was played in E minor, if you get me drift. But when you play it in E minor, as you saw, and you start really getting into it, because that's what happened when I done the live video last time. I got tired. I couldn't think. So when I woke up and started to readdress it, then you can find out how powerful the E minor scope could be. You know, so with someone like myself, I wouldn't be quite sure what key to play this bass line in. You know, evidently the way that I played it in E flat is more graceful. But when you play it this way, you've got more, if you like, outtakes. You know, you've got this as well. I know you couldn't use. I was trying to think, actually, if I turn it around, I might be able to do it in a kind of robot way as well. I don't know whether I can that kind of robot feel. It doesn't. One more, I'll start cooling down. one more just to get the jam right. I'm trying to robot one more, nearly got it. I'm just like, yeah. So when you play the bass this way, all of these different events start taking place. Obviously, because there's a lot of different events that are starting to take place in this bass line. There's loads of them that are starting to happen in this bass line. That doesn't mean to say that there isn't if I detune it. It just means I got to a certain level detuned. What I have to do is start looking for them in this key. And I'd have to, and I might start finding them. And I go, wow, I found these other ones that are really Bulax. So at the end of the day, playing the bass one way gives you a different harmony. From what I feel is that E minor is more dark than F minor because of the diatonic shapes that you get when you play. If you play generally E minor, you get this. In that area. F minor, I'm not quite sure what F minor is. I'll just have a think. Not sure whether that is the actual right F minor. And then there's another one where it goes. So it would be that one, or it would be so it's in that area, the harmony of the bass. It's here. E minor, it's here. So it's darker in its feel than this. So you've got that feel, and when you're playing in E minor, and so that's what it is with slap as well. When you learn to play the bass this way, and you want to do slap bass lines, and you get that big city feel. Sorry. So what it is why am I doing it, is the two harmonies, the way that they change the colouring. You know, when you've got the F thing, you've got that feel. When you've got E minor, it's down here. So you get this kind of feel in the bass, and what it is, it applies to all the different keys, if you get my drift. So if you're playing F, F sharp, G major, Sorry. C sharp, blah, blah, blah. So each key has a different voicing, has a different harmony. It's not the same as going sort of like, sorry. All you're doing is just moving up and down the fretboard. So there's no change in the variation of the harmony. There's no way of tracking what the harmony is of that key. So when you learn the bass this way, it shows you where the harmony is. As I'm trying to explain, play the first note of E, then the second note, then the third note, then the fourth. Now F. So they're different feelings, yeah? So E, now F. All right. So they're completely different. E major is really low, F sharp is really high, F major is really high. So what about F sharp? F sharp's like this. Then G. So it's completely different. You know, so let's say, oh, we're playing in G major. So you go, so you know what key it is in. I want to play in F major. I want to be playing in F sharp. You see, G major. G sharp. A. Sharp. B. B. C. C sharp, no good. So each harmony has a different voicing, a different color, a different root when you play a bass line harmonically. When you play the bass, according to guys like Ron Carr, you take down a different route of you go down the staircase, and you get this variant that will be the harmony of that key that you're playing in, and it will be dominant in the sense of instead of being root and fourth, have major or minor, minor or major. You will be able to put the major, it will be distinct, that you'll be able to hear the strong major or minor, and you can make it really dominant by using, let's say, one of these key notes to be the dominant note. As we see when we do the tuning in this bass, it's all good when we play it in this tuning in E minor. You get loads of little licks, loads of different things. Got loads of different. So we've got loads of different things, but when you play it in D tunes, so E flat, then it's more lush. It goes all the way through. There's a note, I keep forgetting, there's F. Actually, that note would have to be worked on. Can't be that note. It could be. So let's have a look. A little bit twisted. Because I've been playing the other way around, I'm going backwards. You'd have to go that way. So the E minor wins out there. It beats it. It's much easier. It's deep. The same as here. So it'd have to be that way. For it to be right, all of the notes, to play all of the notes. Remember, he doesn't play all of the notes all of the time. Sometimes he plays just one of those notes. It's a question of catching it. So it might go, or it might go, and it's all behind the note, it's all behind the beat and stuff like that. So what I found is that playing it in E flat is more lush. Playing it in E, you get more licks, but it's more direct, it's more hard hitting, meaning that when you hit the ball, it kind of hurts your hands. It's too straight. But when you play it in E flat, it doesn't hurt your hands. Apart from when you get to here. But there's the way that I got out of it. Means I don't play the two Fs. I could play it there. But either way, it teaches you how to play this bass line, and knowing that if you change into a different key, then you've got to learn the whole formula around the key. And so because I've been doing it for a while, then I can find them. It's going to be in that area. Obviously, you can transpose it into other areas. You can change it into different areas, but then you know where the whole thing is. So notice in that area, what it is E is completely different. So what it is with E is one of those keys where it kind of works in a different way. It's got that feel to it. like this. In E, and F is different. This is what happens. So I'm going to finish off with that. I didn't see the people texting. 2.5 hours is enough for the video. I'm just going to finish off with a tea break, or look for tea breaks here. So what it is for the guys out there is, in this video, we did do a lot on looking at the bass line. But what it is that when we looked in the bass line in 2 keys, what it shows us is that when you look at a key in bass, it will have a discorded voicing deep within the bass line, and you find it through the natural position of the bass. The most minimal way of playing the bass, I know there are different ways of doing it, but I did it this way because it was the minimal way. And when you look at it in terms of something like Renaissance or anything like that, then you know, because some people will say, well, why play the high F? Why don't you play the low F? Why don't you play the low F? Well, if I play the low F, I'm moving into two positions. When I play the F like this, I'm not moving my hands at all. So that means that when you play the natural way, F major, F is a high note, not a low note. The same as B. When you play B, it's a high note, because when you play the low note, it means you've got to use two positions to play the that major scale. Yeah, so no problem, Jeff. I'm not going to harp on tonight about war and Charlie Potatoes kind of stuff. I've been working. I've been given a bass. I have been using it, as you can see, and I'm learning on it as well. You know, I've learned a few licks today. The licks that I learned today were this. So I'm learning a little bit on the bass, and the action is really soft. He did say this. He said the action is really, really soft. So all of the 16ths, you can get them. It's helping me. It's improving. I might do that in another video about how, you know, playing different basses can improve the way you play bass to a certain degree. If you've got a bass and it's really difficult to play it, then it's really going to be difficult. But I might do it in another video. So the thing in the video tonight, guys, and this is what it was with the other bass players. They're not listening. They don't know. They don't understand. They don't realize that if you play in a certain key, you're going to get a certain harmony in the bass. And if you learn to play the bass like Ron Carter, you learn the chart. I still haven't done it, but I am going to do it, guys. I'm going to put the chart on the internet so everybody can see it. And then when you see it and start to play it, then you start to realize the feeling of the actual key that you play a bass line in. And that's what happened when I played this Bernard Edwards bass line. I wasn't just playing the notes. Oh, you play the note, tap, 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 tap. No, I was going all the way through all of the notes that are behind subjectively in a proper cliche way. That's the other thing about it. When you play the bass this way and you've got these note riffs, you can start to land them in such a way that they become properly cliches, like this one. That's right. That's how it's supposed to go. In swing beat, that's the right way. It's right. Where other guys might go, I would do that. It's not. You learn it. You learn it this way. You learn it good. Because you know where the key is. You know what key it's in. You know things to work around to get in that area. You know it's that anyway. But you've got to get it right. I don't know whether I'm going to do any more. I'm just going to leave it as that tonight, guys. I'm checking the time because it means I've got enough time to get something to eat. If I carry on, we'll get a little bit hungry. I will be doing some music this weekend with a friend and all that. So if they see the video, then they're prepared. This is what it's all about. When I see the guy, when I'm going to go and see some guys, and I want to show them this. slow it down so they can actually see it, because it's really important. When I see this, I'll talk to them when I see them about it. But this is what we're doing. This is how we roll these days. Sometimes we don't. We just play the top notes. When we were doing the Jamiroquai tune, we just learned the top notes. But if we started to learn the tune and get it under our belts, then we would start looking to start breaking down the tune and find out whether there's any groove moments in the tune where you can deconstruct it around the groove, because it can sometimes help you. And as you can see with the tune, we're starting to get some out beats. Bulax. You go, oh, that's a bit Bulax. You go, yeah, it does sound a bit Bulax. It sounds nice. And it sounds a bit like Bernard Edwards as well, at that level. So, yes. So, thanks for the guys. I'm going to close down this live video. And I will come back with live videos, but what it is where I've been working, and you don't get so tied up with some of the stuff that's on the internet. And, so okay, guys. Thanks, guys.